But when North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis announced he wasn't running for another term, it appeared that his disagreement over the changes to Medicaid and President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill was at the heart of this as he railed against those changes in this impassioned floor speech in the Senate.
And in the first interview he's done with a North Carolina journalist, Tillis sat down with our senior political reporter Bob Buckley, who asked him if he was so against those changes those changes, had he changed his position on whether North Carolina should have taken the federal government's offer to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act in the first place.
Did you oppose the Medicaid expansion when it happened in North Carolina?
Oh, yeah. When I left the State House, there was a law on the books ratified by me, Thom Tillis, the Speaker of the House, and Phil Berger, the President of the Senate, that made it illegal to expand Medicaid under Obamacare, because I thought this day would probably come, and I wanted to protect the citizens of North Carolina from it. We did an independent analysis, 3 different groups: the governor's Medicaid group, Democrat, Phil Berger's and Destin Hall's research division, Republican, in the legislature, and the Hospital Association arrived at the conclusion that this is going to do damage that we have never seen in Medicaid in North Carolina. What I was trying to do was avoid it, and we could have easily avoided it by going back to the House mark and then finding other ways to cut. But some people became so obsessed with the July 4th date, they were willing to accept something that I think's defective policy and horrible politics, and I still want to stand ready to fix it.
So it wasn't the amount of money going out the door for Medicaid that you objected to, it was the particular cuts that were being made that were not done in a way that you thought was smart?
On my watch, I would have never expanded it. I would have stood by the law that we passed that prohibited it. But we are where we are now. So my goal was to simply say I was okay with actually ending expansion over time. And I'm okay with reducing funding to states over time. But there's a smart way to do it, and there's a not smart way to do it, and the latter was chosen here. And if we don't get it right, it's going to create a disruption. It's going to potentially harm people who are eligible for Medicaid. It's going to put budget pressure on the state legislature.
Tariffs are hitting North Carolina farmers hard, much as they did in 2018. So what are you hearing, and what are we doing, and why, also in this same question, why do most of the cash payments we give to farms to help them through these tariff times, most of that goes to major agribusiness companies and not individual farmers?
What we're dealing with right now are non-tariff trade barriers. China has basically refused about $100 million tobacco crop that we're trying to find a home for now in North Carolina. I'm waiting to hear pork and poultry and turkeys coming up against trade barriers themselves as the administration negotiates these trade agreements. There aren't any formal trade agreements that have been signed since what I think was referred to as Liberation Day. There are a few that are in the works, but we've got to settle down trade agreements with some of our big trading partners soon, or agriculture will continue to be hammered. I think we've already forgotten that food security only comes if a nation can feed itself. And we're getting to a point to where it's going to be virtually impossible. We're still a food exporter, but the day could come in our lifetimes where that's not the case, and that's a very dangerous place for our country to be.